This is a video on the trial of Sekhemas, how it works and how to complete it. Completing this trial will allow you to choose an ascendancy for your character. You will also get 2 points to assign to your ascendancy. To start the quest line, you need to kill Balbala the traitor. Once killed, you will receive a coin. You must take this coin to the trial of Sekhemas. You can get there by using the desert map and having the caravan moved there. Once there, move through until you see the altar, with Balbala next to it. Next, activate the altar and place the coin in it. It will then open a second window where you can place relics. You will only have one at this point, so place it and press confirm. This starts the trial. First, I want to talk about the honor system. Once the trial has started, you will have a new bar above your toolbar. This will show how much honor you have. This is the most important part of the trial. If your honor gets to 0, you will fail the trial. You lose honor by being hit by enemies. There are only a few opportunities to refill some of your honor during the trial, so your top priority will always be not to get hit by the enemies. The second important part of this trial is the sacred water. This is a currency used in a number of ways through the trial. Collect as much as you can. It will drop off enemies or be obtained from fountains between tests. As you move into the first room, you will be given your first trial. There are 5 different types of trials. The escape trial is the easiest. In this trial, you need to activate the crystals as you move around the map. There are 7 crystals in this area. When you activate the crystal that is next to the door, a timer will start. Also, the crystal will show the direction to the next crystal by the light that comes out from it. If the timer gets to 0, you will take a large amount of damage and lose a lot of honor. When you activate each crystal, 15 seconds will be added onto your timer. Once you have activated all crystals, the test will be over. Importantly, you don't need to kill any enemies at all in this trial. Run past all enemies and activate crystals. There is a chalice trial. In this test, there will be 2 or 3 rare monsters spread out around the room. If you click on the chalice, it will show you the direction that the rare monsters are. Kill all the rare monsters and exit into the next area. The gauntlet test is a puzzle trial. Here there will be spike traps and flame traps. There will also be enemies. You don't need to kill the enemies, but since there is no timer, it is best to play it safe and kill them quickly to avoid damage and losing honor later. The room will have a number of gates with coloured gems next to them. You need to move around the room and find the lever that corresponds to the gems to open the door. Once through all the doors, you can leave the test. The ritual trial is a simple kill all enemies test. There are 2 forms of this trial, one with a number of small portals with 2 attendants, or one with a single larger portal with 4 attendants. To close the portals, you must kill the attendants on either side of the portal. While they are alive, the portal will also spawn enemies, so good AoE skills are important here. With the large portal, you will have a rare enemy in the room. Once all portals are closed, you can leave the test. The last trial is the hourglass test. This trial is all about surviving. You just need to live until the timer runs out. Then all enemies will die, and you can leave the room. Enemies will constantly spawn, and there will be one rare enemy. If you kill the rare enemy, time will be taken off the timer. AoE skills are best here again, so you can keep the amount of enemies at a manageable level. Now we will talk about progressing through the trial. When you get through the first test, you will get to a room. In this room, you will see a trial map as well as a reward on the left-hand side of the room. With the trial map, you will see what your next trial will be by highlighting it, and also what your next trial will be after that one. You will notice there are many options. You will notice there are 8 columns. That is the amount of trials you have to complete, including the final boss. Between each trial, you will see lines that mark what trials you will be able to select. When selecting your trials, always consider the path following it. The trials will also show what you will receive when completing it. This can benefit you or it could hinder you. These can be keys that can be used on chests at the end, and also chests that are sometimes the reward for a trial. They can be debuffs that will follow you until you complete or fail the full trial. It can be a sacred water fountain where you can obtain more sacred water. An honor shrine which will restore some honor as well as give you either a buff or a debuff, depending on what was shown to you on the map when you selected it. It could also be a pledge that will give you a buff and a debuff. Finally, a merchant. With the merchant, you can use sacred water to buy strong buffs to help you during the trial. If you can get a merchant, make sure you go for it, as it will be a major help. When you hit the final trial, you will be going up against Rattlecage, the Earthbreaker. Once again, you have to make sure you don't let your honor fall to 0 at any point during this fight, or you will fail the trial, so make sure you have as much as possible before entering this fight. Rattlecage is a slow-moving boss. This makes it easy to damage. However, the difficulty comes from the amount of lingering abilities it leaves around the room that can hit you and take your honor. During the fight, Balbala will join you and call out the abilities. When it first comes out, it will do 3 explosions in quick succession, each with a bigger radius. Just get as far away as possible. He will use this ability a number of times throughout the fight. Its next ability will create small volcanoes around the room. He will hit the ground and 2 lines of lava will move out from it. These lines will damage you. At the end of the lines, a volcano will spawn at each of them. They will continually throw out lava around it. They will last for a very long time. This ability is used by the boss to reduce the amount of usable space in the arena. It has a slam ability in which he will hit the ground right in front of him. It will have an area of effect, so just move away as quickly as possible. It also has an ability where it will slam the ground continually. This has a smaller area of effect to the slam, so it is easier to get away from and get some damage in on the boss. The last ability will start when the boss is around a third health. This will call down projectiles from above randomly around the room. Try and keep an eye out for the marker on the ground and get damage in when you are in a safe spot. Once he is defeated, move through into the next room. There will be a number of chests in the room where you can use the keys you obtained during the trial. You will see a Keth Forge along the left wall. This will give you keys for your excess sacred water. There is also an altar along this wall. This is what you use to choose your ascendancy. During the trial, you will have more relics drop off enemies. If that happens, use these relics in the first altar with the coin to make it easier. Also, if you fail, you can get a new key off Balbala and keep attempting it with the honor system. This trial is much more difficult for melee characters. You will be unable to get more ascendancy points from this trial. You will need to get to the Trail of Chaos in Act 3 for the next points. Enjoy.